What's up, guys? Derek here with the Nerd Cave Network, here to give you my reaction to the 2016 WWE Draft. The draft just ended about 10 minutes ago, and there's still a special going on the WWE Network. They're doing more draft picks after SmackDown ended, which I've got it pulled up on my iPad here, so any breaking news that happens, I'll report it as it goes along. But I wanted to give my thoughts on the televised draft itself. It's been something that I've been intrigued to see since they announced that they were going to be doing the brand split again. WWE tried doing this in 2002, and it worked for a bit, but it really kind of tampered away or just kind of faded away several years later. I didn't feel like they did a very good job with balancing the rosters, and I was interested to see if they would do that this year. So my first disappointment was the set. This was the first live SmackDown. SmackDown's going to be live every Tuesday now, and I was hoping to see a new set, maybe bring back the old giant fist that went right through the staging, or just something entirely new to make it different from Raw. But what we got was just the exact same thing. And that was my the first thing I noticed. I'm like, they're not really off to that great of a start by trying to make SmackDown different from Raw. Maybe they'll unveil it next week now that the draft is over, and maybe they'll even unveil a new set on Raw after Battleground this Sunday. But that was just something that I noticed from the very beginning. But like I said, we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully they do change it. But moving on to the draft itself, Raw had the first overall pick, and the rules were a little interesting because with Raw being a 3-hour show as opposed to SmackDown being 2, for every 2 picks that SmackDown got, Raw would get 3 because they have an hour longer show. So Raw got the first overall pick, and they picked Seth Rollins, which I agree with. To me, he's probably the best overall wrestler in WWE right now. He's a very good heel, and I think he could make an even better babyface down the line. He's good on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's the best heel in wrestling right now, in my opinion. He's the overall package, so I had no issue with him being the number 1 overall pick. I would have done that exact same thing. SmackDown countered with current WWE champion Dean Ambrose, which I think he's going to lose to either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins at Battleground, and the WWE Championship will be on Raw. And then SmackDown will create their own championship. Whether they bring back the big gold belt for the World Heavyweight Championship, I have no idea. But I do think there will be 2 world champions. I would just do one, but I think that's the direction that WWE is going to go. Let's see. Then Raw picked Charlotte, WWE Women's Champion. I'm surprised that that they picked Charlotte this high, and this is probably my biggest gripe with the draft, is that with them announcing that they're bringing the Cruiserweight division back and it's going to be exclusive to Raw, I'm thinking, okay, we'll make the women's division exclusive to SmackDown, because they're not going to do that with the tag team division. My opinion, what they're going to do is they're going to create 2 world champions, and then the tag team championship will be the one belt that migrates between the 2 shows. Again, I think they should have made the women's division an exclusive if you're going to give an exclusive division to Raw. To me, that's just stacking Raw way too much. So that pick I did not like. I was hoping to see Charlotte go to SmackDown is what I was hoping. So let's see. Then SmackDown picks AJ Styles, which I agree with. AJ Styles has been great since he's been in the WWE. Very surprising to a lot of people. I was happy to see him finally make his WWE debut, and I think he's been great ever since he's been in the WWE. I think he's played a great face and a great heel. He's currently a heel right now, but I think he's been good on the mic. Well, maybe not great, but he's been good enough, and he's been solid in the ring as always. He's always been that way since his TNA days. So that pick I agree with. Let's see. Raw picks Finn Balor from NXT. 6 picks were made from the NXT roster. With the Cruiserweight division being on Raw, I agree with this. I could see Finn Balor maybe delving in that division a little bit before maybe going after the secondary championship, before eventually going on into the main event picture. Finn Balor's great. He's been one of my favorites in NXT. I like his demon character. I hope they just use that sparingly. But he's a great addition to Raw, and I figured that was where he was going to go. Let's see. SmackDown picked John Cena. Great pick for that. Cena's, I think, winding down. I think he's got a couple of good years left. But if you want to give name power to SmackDown, you got to give them their biggest star. And that shows that you are putting effort into making SmackDown a good show. And that's the thing they needed to do. So that, to me, was their top priority, was drafting John Cena. And they accomplished that. Let's see. My phone's not wanting to cooperate right now, so let's see. Going through, we'll go through a few Raw picks. Roman Reigns, not really surprising. Brock Lesnar, not surprised by that either. Brock Lesnar's not really around on a regular basis, so to me it didn't really matter where he went. The New Day, I was kind of hoping they would go on SmackDown. Sami Zayn to Raw, that's not surprising. He could be a big asset in the Cruiserweight division. Sasha Banks, since Charlotte's there, you got to put her on Raw. Chris Jericho, veteran guy, again, kind of hoping to see him on SmackDown. I was hoping SmackDown would be a little more star-heavy because I think that would have helped the ratings a little bit, but I really have no issue with it. And then Rusev, WWE United States Champion, goes to Raw. I was hoping that they would put the U.S. title on Raw and then the Intercontinental title on SmackDown, because to me, the Intercontinental title is more important than the U.S. title. And people are going to look at the WWE Champion, which I think will end up being on Raw. They'll look at that as the main championship. The Intercontinental Championship, to me, it just has that SmackDown feel to it, and it brings a little more prestige, I think, because like I said, I think the Intercontinental title is more prestigious than the U.S. Well, my phone is really not wanting to cooperate here. Let's see. We'll do a few SmackDown picks. Randy Orton, good move for SmackDown, needs star power. Bray Wyatt, kind of thought he would end up on Raw, but to me, it didn't really matter where he ended up. I hope that maybe this is the start to him becoming relevant again, because I love the Bray Wyatt character. I've loved it since he's debuted as that character. To me, he's like the modern-day Undertaker. But the fact that he loses all the time, just, they've buried him. He has no credibility whatsoever. So now that he's back from injury, now that he seems to have a fresh start, maybe they can rebuild him again. Forget the make Darren Young great again. Make Bray Wyatt great again is what I'm trying to say, WWE, because you have a very strong and unique character, a character that the fans love, and you've just crapped all over him. So, like I said, hopefully this leads to some type of resurgence from Bray Wyatt. Apparently my phone's wanting to close every 30 seconds or so. Oh, breaking news, Naomi drafted to SmackDown. Let's see, Becky Lynch. Again, as I said, to me they should have put the women's division on one show and it should have been on SmackDown. And then The Miz with Maurice. You put the U.S. title on Raw, you got to put the Intercontinental title on SmackDown. Back to Raw, we have Kevin Owens. Thought he would end up on SmackDown, but he's my favorite right now, honestly. I mean, he's definitely up there, probably top 2 or top 3. No matter where he goes, he's going to succeed. So I think it's great that he's on Raw. Raw's the premier show. It'll give him more exposure. But to me, Kevin Owens is the total package right now. Yeah, he may not look that great physically, but he's so good on the microphone, and he has a career as a color commentator when he's finished wrestling. Let's see. Oh, Ascension to SmackDown. Who cares? Let's see. Enzo and Cass, was kind of hoping they would end up on SmackDown since they're the other quote-unquote entertaining tag team besides New Day. I think you should have put one on Raw and the other on SmackDown. Just my opinion. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Club. So AJ Styles and the Club are no more, but Little known fact, in Japan, Finn Balor was also a member of the club, so I see a storyline with that happening sooner rather than later. Big Show, I don't think has much left. Hopefully he has one or two more relevant moments before he retires. Nia Jax, beast of a woman from NXT, so entertaining to watch. She's what Karma should have been. I think she will be what Karma should have been. She's going to run roughshod over the women's division, and I'm really excited because I love her matches in NXT. Neville, the man that Gravity forgot, is now on Raw. Again, cruiserweight division. He's a veteran guy. He's really exciting to watch. He will be a highlight of the cruiserweight division. And then their last two picks for Raw, Cesaro. Gotta hope he doesn't get lost in the shuffle because I'm a big Cesaro fan. He's so unbelievably strong. He has this quiet charisma, and he's so good in the ring. I hope he gets the U.S. title sooner rather than later. And then their last pick was Sheamus. I've never been a big Sheamus fan, so I was kind of whatever on that. Let's see, in the last five SmackDown picks, Baron Corbin, kind of on him. I don't think he's really found his place yet. So I think maybe being on SmackDown, he might ascend the ladder a little more. I don't know. I don't know what to think of Baron Corbin. Then we get to, in my mind, the next great tag team of the WWE, and that would be Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, a.k.a. American Alpha. These guys are amazing. I love their NXT matches. The crowd loves them. They have this charisma about them. They have the overall package. I mean, I've never really seen any of their promos, so I don't know how good they are at talking. But they kind of draw you in because they seem like such genuine good guys. I would love to see a storyline where Kurt Angle comes back and he takes these guys under his wing and maybe make them not necessarily the new Team Angle. Don't call them Team Angle. Keep them American Alpha. But I think under his wing, they could really learn things. And plus, I would just love to see Kurt Angle back for one last run in the WWE. As my phone closes again. Then last three picks, Dolph Ziggler. Like Dolph Ziggler, hope he can get something going. Natalya, she's recently turned heel. I like Natalya. I like really the whole Hart dynasty, Hart family. I think she'll have a really good feud with Becky Lynch. And then the last televised pick was Alberto Del Rio. And I was a big fan of Del Rio in the beginning when he was doing the whole, rich class skits before he would make his debut. I thought that he might be actually kind of cool. And I liked him in the beginning, but he's just kind of to me now. And I know he was great in Lucha Underground, but since he's come back to WWE, he hasn't really done anything. He beat John Cena for the U.S. title, but after that, he really did nothing. So that is the televised WWE Draft. I don't have my mock in front of me, so I have no idea. So, the Usos were drafted to SmackDown. They're talking with Renee Young and Booker T right now. Well, that's kind of cool. I like the Usos. I've actually met them before. They performed or they made an appearance at a Blue Wahoos game recently. They're from Pensacola, so shout out to the Usos. Congratulations on getting drafted. But that was the televised draft. Overall, I'd say it was good. Was it outstanding? I would say no. I'm not going to judge it based off of one night. I'm going to give this is a long-term thing, so I want to see how it plays out over the next couple of months because you'll obviously be able to do trades, sign free agents, because last I saw, Undertaker wasn't eligible to be drafted, so maybe they could do some type of big free agent thing with him. I don't know. They could do some cool things now that the draft has happened and the rosters are split. We'll just have to see. This is a long-term thing. I'm going to give it, at least till the end of the year. Or I'm hoping they have some type of long-term plan that maybe even leads into WrestleMania. So we'll just have to see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out all of our other great content on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Nerd Cave Podcast. You can find other reaction videos like this one. You can find Let's Plays, interviews that we've done at various cons, all kinds of cool stuff. And you can check out all of our podcasts throughout the week on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. And check us out on social media at Nerd Cave Network. This has been Derek, and have a week.